joining. Please, let's just give Facebook 2 minutes to get this video visible to everyone. And I have to share this on my guest page and my page. Let's give us 2 minutes. Thank you for being here.
Bless risings, everyone. Bless risings.
So, okay. As you jump in, let me know where you're joining us from. Okay. So, Cori, you have some kind of security on your page, and I'm not able to post on your page, but I have it on my personal page. Can you share it? Hello, Morel, my friend from London, UK.
I'll take care of that right now.
Good to have you in the show. Welcome. Yes, we're ready to rock and roll. Welcome. Great. Good morning. Yes, absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And you are welcome to the 90th session, 90. I am so excited of the Civilized Presence. If you're just getting here for the first time, the Civilized Presence is an online TV session where lives are changed, where people discover their self, purpose, and voice, and learn social skills that is required to thrive in the real world. And I think, Cori, we have a feedback from you.
I just went ahead and shared it on my page, so my apologies.
Okay, so no problem. Welcome, Ariel. It's great to have you in the house. So my name is Louisa Akaiso, and I am your host for today. I really feel so humbled and honored that you responded to the call. It's great to have you here. I'm not sure if you saw the flyer, a post, or someone invited you, but welcome. If you're here on replay, welcome. I am a certified master civility trainer and a leadership coach from the John Maxwell team. So welcome everyone. Welcome Ariel. It's great to have you here from Philippines. Welcome Morel from London, UK. Thank you so much. Esther from Nigeria. It's great to have you. Charles, it's great to have you. Guys, jump on in and let us know where you're joining us from. It's so good to have you here. It's a beautiful Monday morning. I'm broadcasting right here from Virginia. It's kind of cold here, but I'm excited to be here. So it feels warm in the house because I have great people in the house here. So welcome. Thank you so much. So we are here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. If it's your very first time, welcome. The main goal of this Facebook series is really to help restore civility. And we've been doing that through meaningful and constructive conversations. And I've been doing that not alone, but working with different professionals, experts, and leaders from all over the world. So some of you might be asking, what is civility? And you're about to learn more about that. So what we've been doing is really breaking down this concept into tiny bits that's easy for you to embrace and just see how simple but important it is for you to be civil. So let me share with you a definition of civility that I love very much, and that's one from PM Fonny. I call him the grandfather of civility. We lost him last month, but I know he's here with us in spirit. And that states that being civil really is being constantly aware of others and weaving restraint, respect, and consideration into the very fabric of this awareness. So that means that civility is focused on positive people's treatment. Civility is gracious goodness. Civility begins with us. It's about you being responsible for your actions. Apologize earnestly if you have to, and refrain from idle complaints. So welcome everyone. It's so good to have you in the house. And Louisa is here from Canada. It's good to have you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. So welcome. So this is the month of March. Let's do a few announcements for 2 minutes. This is the month of March, and I talked about in our last session that this month really we're going to be doing a lot of sessions for the women, just to honor the International Women's Day. A lot of sessions. We started on Saturday. We had a great session, and welcome, Teresa. It's great to have you here in the house. Thank you so much for always being here. Thank you. It means so much to me. So this month, we're doing a lot of programs for the women. I know you're asking, but when we have Cori in the house, yes, of course, he's talking about growth. So if there's something that women have been struggling with, is the area of positioning themselves for growth. And we're going to learn that this morning. We're going to touch on so many great things, character, mindset, so many great things. So you want to be here. This is the right place to be. If you're concerned or focused with growth, if you've been struggling since the beginning of the year and it seems like you haven't been able to set off on a good note, you're in the right session. And welcome, Alisa. It's great to have you in the house. So let me go ahead and just talk about our guest. His name is Cori Briggs, and Cori is well known as the builder. I love that. He is the builder, as he builds leaders to build other leaders. I think that's really important. A leader who is interested in building other leaders and not followers. He is also a transformational speaker, an author, and a master growth and development expert. He has dedicated his life to working with individuals, organizations, and countries committed to professional and personal excellence. His commitment is seen through his mastery of growth and development and aiding those he works with to achieve growth in evolution. With 16 years of leadership training, development, management, and entrepreneurial experience, Cori utilizes this to influence the culture of companies, countries, and enrich the lives of individuals on their journey to discover as well as maximize their gifts. So, welcome, Cori. I'm going to give you a moment to say hello to the audience. Over to you, Cori.
Bless risings, everyone. Louisa, thank you so much for having me on this platform with you this morning. And it's kind of powerful. You didn't tell me that this was session number 90. It's a lot of power in that number 9. So I'm very excited to be here this morning. And thank you for everyone joining in. I see Morel, Lisa for hopping on with us, and I just really appreciate the opportunity to be able to share with everyone. And just as much as I look to be able to add value, I'm looking to gain some value as well, because that exchange of energy definitely goes both ways. And I couldn't be happier right now to be able to share this opportunity with you on this episode 90.
Thank you so much. And welcome, Gloria. It's great to have you in the house. Welcome, Dee. Welcome, Coco. It's great to have you in the house. Thank you so much for joining. So, Cori, how this works really is to get started with a question and begin the conversation. And sometimes we might have questions from our audience. And guys, I want you to know that the builder is in the house. So if you have any broken parts, let me tell you, if you felt like you've been broken apart since the beginning of this year and you're not able to figure out and achieve some kind of growth in your life, in your career, in your profession, whatever it is that you've been embarking on doing this year, and it seems like it's just not starting, and this is the 3rd month, this is the session to be with the builder in the house. He's able and ready to put you together. So bring on your questions. He's ready to take them on. Post them in the comment box below. You know how this works. If you're just joining us, post any question that you have and I'll pass it to Cori. He's going to be here with us for the next 30 minutes. So my very first question for you, Cori, would be, what does civility mean to you? Over to you, Cori.
That's a loaded question after you read that powerful definition from the godfather of civility, as you said. But I think, it goes straight to the heart. Civility is truly about people genuinely treating people how people should be treated. Every individual in this world has a certain level of value that was given to him by the Most High God. And civility to me means being able to respect, honor, and value that gift that was given to each of us.
Thank you so much. And welcome, Teresa. It's great to have you here. Guys, just take a moment and share this video on your page. Please do me a favor. Can you just step out for 1 second and share this video on your page? Invite your friends, family, neighbors, and enemies too. They have to grow. This is a civilized person, so you should bring everyone in. It's a message of growth. So you don't want to be growing alone. Yes, and Teresa said, thank you for mentioning the power of 9. Can you explain it to others? Absolutely. Go ahead, Cori. That's for you. That's a question for you.
I just got a chill by you asking that question, Teresa. I mean, even us having this conversation in the third month on this being Louisa's 90th session. Uh, if anyone's familiar with Nikola Tesla, if you're not familiar with Nikola Tesla, I want to encourage you to look him up. Just the electric car that's very popular in the world. The Tesla was named after him because of his profound creations and studies that he did with electricity. And the
Mm.
reason why the number 9 is so powerful is Nikola Tesla studied something called vortex math. I'm going to say that again, vortex math. We don't have enough time this morning to dive into it, but please, I want to encourage you to look up vortex math, and it truly talks about the powers of the number 3, 6, and 9. And when you look at, excuse me, the series and the sequence in which the number 0 through the number 9 go, they form a pattern. And Nikola Tesla found a lot of power in electricity as well as energy in our world in those numbers. And I mean, just as there's electric currents running around the world that you can plug into a socket, we as human beings are filled with a lot of electricity. So when we're able to connect with certain numbers and we're able to connect with certain patterns, they have the ability to allow us to tap into this universe and world around us in a lot of different ways. So I would say that's just the surface in terms of the power of 9. But I want to again say, I want to encourage everyone to look up vortex math. That's VORTEX, vortex math.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Cori, and welcome, Patrick and Teresa. I hope that was helpful. And thank you so much for your question. So we're just going to go back right into the show. Now, Cori, everyone refers to you as the builder. Now, can you tell me what the main focus and the vision of Cori the builder is? Over to you, Cori.
I always say it's about building minds with minds like mine. Here it is. We were able to talk about something that I think is very powerful. I try to incorporate vortex math in all facets of my life. And for Teresa to ask that question, it gave way for us to be able to truly build minds with minds like mine. I truly feel that everyone in this world is connected in some form or fashion. And I take great pride in not only being able to help build others, but also being a student and allowing others to be able to help build me. And so when I talk about being the builder, it really is about being in a situation and being in a position where I'm able to add value. And one thing that I've truly learned and I've understood is when you open yourself up to truly be able to pour out into others, you also open yourself up to be able to receive. So then that's where we give way for truly being able to build minds with minds like mine. And it's about each of us being able to grow stronger through a mutual interaction. Just like today, Louisa, I'm building and I'm getting stronger just in us entering into this conversation this morning. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We do have another question, but Patrick, we're going to come back to that question, and let's just continue because some of these things are going to show up in the questions that we have for today. But thank you so much, Patrick. Just hang on tight. I'm going to come back to your question. Okay, so my next question for you would be, I know that you had shared with me your concept of growth and algorithms of progressive growth in
Yes.
income shifting. Now, can you talk to the audience more about that, about this great concept that you've created and are working with? Over to you, Cori.
Yeah, so the algorithms of progressive growth is the key philosophy to creating building systems to promote successful evolution. What I mean by that is a lot of times people have the ability to grow as well as develop, but they don't do them in alignment. Just for example, you can think of someone physically growing, getting taller, getting bigger, but yet they don't mentally develop to match that same size. And if we aren't careful, a lot of that can happen in our personal development, our relationship development, our professional development. And it's very important that as we begin to grow, we also develop. As I've continued to study and really pour myself into the mastery of development and growth. Growth is a subset of development, but a lot of times people don't approach it from that standpoint. I mean, we have a lot of countries in this world that are growing at a rapid rate. Their population is multiplying exceedingly fast, but yet the infrastructure of that country doesn't match that growth. And so the algorithms of progressive growth really hit home on seeing to it that in order for an individual, a group, organization, or any country to truly be successful, there has to be alignment between growth and development as much as possible. And so the algorithms truly lay out a skeleton and a formula, if you will, to be able to promote that success over time, and also provide the metrics to be able to measure that growth so that we can provide a checkup, if you will, to see where we are moving forward into a positive direction.
Thank you so much. So I guess at this point, we're going to take the question that we had, because if not, more questions are going to come and then we're not able to look at it. So I'm going to go back to Patrick's question. And he said, what has been your greatest challenge and how did you overcome it? Over to you, Cori.
You know, Patrick, that's a great question. That's almost real gladiator-like, my friend. My man, Patrick Artist is in the building. You know, for me, I will say truthfully, my greatest challenge was coming to the realization that as a parent, and this may catch some people off guard based upon the conversation that we have had, but my greatest challenge was realizing that if I was going to pour into my daughter and also be the husband that my wife chose to marry, I had to live life to its fullest. I had to make sure that I wasn't leaving anything to chance. And so as a parent, when I'm able to look my daughter in her eyes and say, you know what, be anything you want to be in this world, go out and, tap into anything it is that you want. You know, the creator put gifts in you. You need to be able to maximize them. And so my greatest challenge was realizing that there was a point that I wasn't maximizing all of those gifts. And so in order for me to be able to stand upright as possible, look my wife and look my daughter in the eyes and say, I am giving you my very best, I had to take that challenge head on. And in terms of overcoming it, truly, Patrick, taking steps 1 and 2. We won't always know steps 3 and 4. And that's where we have to truly be able to double down on our faith and understand that we have to jump out there. I'm pretty sure there's somebody watching this live right now in session number 90 that wants to know how they can move forward. Well, I'm going to encourage you this morning, just take a step. You'll never know what's going to happen next. And so as far as overcoming that challenge, I find a way to face it on a daily basis. Being able to be here with you all this morning is a way to face that challenge. So every time I'm in a position to be able to express my gifts, share my gifts, it's a manner and a way in which I'm able to exercise my overcoming of my greatest challenge. And that same greatest challenge is what pushes me to be my very best and truly live life to the fullest.
Thank you so much, Cori. I think that was very helpful. And Patrick, I hope that answered your question. Thank you so much. And we have some more people who are coming on. We have Raphael. Thank you for being here. Izay, it's good to have you. Suzanne from Canada, it's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much for joining. So we'll go back to the session for today. Now, my next question for you, Cori, would be, how can we create an environment where growth occurs easily? Or can I say, how can we position ourselves for growth? Over to you, Cori.
That's a powerful question, Louisa. You know, I think the easiest and the simplest way I can answer that question, just look at nature. Just look at nature. This might catch some people off guard when I say this, but even a living plant will release a dead leaf automatically. And so what we have to realize is that when we go about creating our environment to truly help us be as successful as we can, the people we surround ourselves with is extremely important. And not just the people, we spend the majority of our time with ourselves. Statistics show that 85% of an individual's self-talk is negative. And so one thing that I'll share with all of the viewers right now is I made a commitment to myself this year that I'm going to focus on self-programming. So what do I mean by self-programming? Being a lot more deliberate with my daily routine and how I start my day. A lot of times, as soon as the alarm goes off, we have a tendency to pick our phone up and start to pour into something that's outside of us. However, when we really start talking about controlling our environment, the best thing that we can do as soon as we rise in the AM is start to pour time into ourselves. I like to say, first, we got to pray, then we have to meditate, and then you have the ability to truly dominate. Because when we pray, we talk to God. When we meditate, we allow God to talk to us. And so I want to encourage everyone watching that if you don't have a formalized daily routine, just put one together. It doesn't have to be very long. It doesn't have to be very extra. Just make it your own. Make it for you and really begin to program yourself. That self-programming and controlling your environment has to do with...
We're losing you there for a minute. Can you just take back the last sentence?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now, Louisa?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
See, that's that electricity I was talking about. When things get powerful, they start to get jumbled up a little bit. So when it comes down to self-programming, I want to encourage everyone to know that in controlling your environment, a lot of it starts with what we choose to watch, what we choose to read. I hear a lot of times people say how bad TV is. I don't think TV is bad. I think just what program you choose to watch could be bad because it has an influence on not only your conscious, but also your subconscious. Just like everyone that chooses to tap into Louisa's show and tap into her sessions, you have chosen an opportunity to be very deliberate in your growth because she's giving you positive information. That's you controlling your program. That's you controlling your environment. And so I think, again, when it comes down to the simplicity of one truly being able to control their growth environment, a lot of it starts with what's your internal dialogue look like? What kind of conversations are you having with yourself? Also, what type of company do you keep? They say birds of a feather flock together. And as silly as that may sound, it's very truthful. And you have to be careful because the more time you spend with certain individuals, the more you begin to take on certain things about them, whether you realize it or not. A lot of it could very well be happening subconsciously. And then again, I would also say just be deliberate about your programming and your personal growth. Because if you never choose to say, you know what, I want to become better today, there's no way in the world you're going to do something about it to be better. I think about, professional athletes. Steph Curry is an NBA ball player. For some that don't know, he has one of the greatest jump shots in the game. But not only does he practice that jump shot, he shoots 100 shots before every game. So if there's something that you truly want to become great at, you have to be focused and deliberate and disciplined enough to say, my growth is that important to where I'm going to want to take myself to another level.
Thank you so much, Cori. That is powerful. We have a lot of contributions from the audience. Thank you, Mirel. Thank you, Alisa. Thank you, Patrick. Be deliberate about your personal growth. That is true. Now, if you're just joining us for the very first time, you're on to the Civilized Presence. We are here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And today we have Cori Briggs in the house. I don't know if you've seen the flyer or the post or the topic, but the topic of today is Build Your Life position yourself for growth using civility. And this is really important. And we've been having a great time here. So if you're just getting here, you have to watch this video again on replay, but we have
That's
to
right.
keep going. Now, welcome. I'm sorry I might not be able to get back to your names, but we're going to keep going. But I want you to know that I appreciate you and I love you for stopping by in the show. So my very next question to you, Cori, 85%. Our research has shown that 85% of our success is based on our soft skills. And I know that's a hard truth for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Now, I do know that as a builder, you do a lot of work in the areas of mindset shifting and character building. So my question would be, how do you think that civility can be instrumental in achieving growth or sustaining a growth of an individual? Over to you, Cori.
You know, it goes right back to the very first question you asked me in terms of my definition of civility. When I look at recognizing the fact that each of us was given a special gift by the Creator, finding a way to maximize that gift is truly what makes life so special. A lot of times people live their entire lives unaware of what their gift is. Either it's the combination of them not having ever had the time for someone to point that gift out to them, or it's a byproduct of them not taking the time to really even ask themselves the question of what that gift is. So when you really start talking about valuing a person and really understanding what those soft skills are and how those soft skills can really be applicable into a person's life, that's when one can start to really tap into, I would like to say, your true self. You know, Michelangelo said it, not Michelangelo, excuse me, Picasso said it best. The meaning of life is to find your gift. Okay. The meaning of life is to find your gift, but then the purpose of life is to give that gift away. And so when you start talking about civility and what that looks like, I would even say for yourself, Louisa, it's clear you have a gift of engaging people and really wanting to highlight certain positive attributes that are necessary for people to move forward in life. So therefore, on every Monday and Friday at 8 a.m., you're giving that gift away. And so when we start talking about how civility impacts one's growth and what that looks like, it really boils down to, one, finding that gift. And once you find that gift, cultivating that gift so that you can continue to have it grow and grow stronger, and then being able to truly give that gift away.
Thank you so much, Cori. Thank you. Guys, we are here in the civilized presence. Give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up, because the heart means, Cori, we love what you're saying. We love the message. You were dropping some hot nuggets. And welcome, Desi. It's great to have you here in the house. And please invite people, invite them. And this is a Monday morning. No one should be sleeping. So invite your friends and family. I know that we have a lot of people joining us from different parts of the world because it's a global audience. And welcome, Wendell. It's great to have you here. So please let us know where you're joining us from. It's important that we give you a shout out as a VIP that you are. I mean, you made out time to be here. That's very important to us. So welcome. If I haven't mentioned your name, just know that it's because you're not on my personal page. So I can see that you're joining, but I cannot see your name. But I want you to know that you really mean so much to all of us. Huntsville, Alabama is in the house. Welcome, brother. It's great to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Yes. And Alisa says hot nuggets. Yes. Really hot this morning. This is really what we needed to hear. And thank you so much, Cori. And this takes me to the next question for you. Now, if you had listened, and viewers, if you had listened to his bio, you would realize that Cori works both in the corporate America and also as a servant leader to humanity. Now, Cori, my question is, how have you been able to create some kind of balance and still be able to handle both sides of the coin and experience growth? Over to you, Cori.
You know, that's a great question. I think one of the most valuable things one of my mentors ever told me was never deny your experience. You know, when I truly can say I acknowledge my gift, and I say that very humbly, when I found my gift or it was revealed to me, I knew that I had to share it. I had to share it with as many people as possible. However, I started to ask the question, why couldn't I have found it sooner? Why couldn't I have started on this journey or this path of entrepreneurship a whole lot earlier? But my mentor cautioned me and he said, Cori, listen, you cannot deny your experience. All these years that you've spent in corporate America add a ton of value to what it is you're doing entrepreneurially. And so when you ask me, how do I find a balance and continue to keep growing? What I found, Louisa, is that everything that I've done in the corporate realm allows me to emphasize and place more importance on different things that I do in the entrepreneurial realm and the things that I do in the entrepreneurial realm as a servant leader and truly pushing forward my initiative of growth and development allow me to be that much more impactful in the corporate space. So they really go hand in hand. I think one has allowed me to develop skills for the other because when it comes down to leadership, I know no other way but to put people first. And so by doing so, I've learned a ton about working with people. And one thing I can say that's so powerful about being in the corporate arena, if a leader is truly focused on growing and developing, you listen to your people. So I've learned so much about how to be a leader, not because I read it in a book.
We lost you for a minute, Cori. Just the last sentence.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
So one thing I was saying about being a leader that I've taken from the corporate world that helps me so much in my role as a servant leader is that I'm a servant leader in the corporate world. It all starts with people. I understand that there is no success in that arena without surrounding yourself with great people. Sometimes not being afraid to surround yourself with somebody that's better at something than you. I have no problem with it. But whatever I can do to help that person truly extrapolate all of their great strengths and be able to work at the highest level allows me to be impactful for them. And then in the world, as a servant leader and working with people as it pertains to growth and development, I'm able to do the same thing. However, the delivery or the method is different. But yet the balance just comes about being in a position to add value to others. And as long as I truly feel as though my focus is adding value first, everything else falls in line, despite which arena I happen to be in at the time.
Thank you so much, Cori. And Wendell, I can see your comments. Thank you so much for contributing. And guys, just give us some hearts and thumbs up as we continue to paddle along in this session for the next couple of minutes. So, Cori, one of my favorite quotes is from Napoleon Hill, and he states that there are no limitations to the mind except those that we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thoughts.
So sincere.
Yes. And so being a personal development coach, I know that you do a lot of work in the area of mindset, and that's always a big thing. Sometimes we might have all of those great things that are lined up that we want to do, but your mind gets in the way. Now, can you share with the audience, how can we program our mind in the right frequency to be able to embrace or experience growth? Over to you, Cori.
Powerful question. We always say time is our most valuable asset. And I agree, time is our most valuable asset, but our mind is our most powerful asset. See, nothing is neither good or bad, only thinking makes it so. And so when we are very deliberate and very conscious about how we want to approach our life, we can do anything. I want to share with you all a story that to me accentuates mindset, because mindset is so much about focus. Mindset is so much about being deliberate. I encourage you right now, if there's something that you want to have happen in your life right now, just take out a sheet of paper, write it down. I don't know if it's 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, and put it in your pocket, put it in your wallet, put it in your purse. But every day, spend some time with those 3 words. You know, some people utilize vision boards. I think vision boards are very powerful, whether you make all the cutouts and put them on a poster or even use one digitally. It really becomes about focus and what you focus in on a daily basis. We all have something called a RAS filter. That's RAS filter, our reticular activating system. It's a small piece at the bottom of our brain that filters all of the information that we're taking in every single day, because our mind is like a computer. If it takes in so much information at one time, it could be overloaded. So the RAS filter acts as that filter for all of that information. Have you ever noticed that anyone that says, man, I can never be on time? Well, guess what? They're always late. Have you ever heard someone say, I'm struggling to get this weight off. I'm always having problems losing weight. Well, guess what? No matter how much they diet, no matter how much they work out, they have trouble losing weight. And so the reason this is because their RAS filter is working. Same thing. You decide that you want to get a new car. And once you purchase that new car, now it seems like everybody else has the same car. No, it's just your RAS filter is more in tuned to that particular vehicle. So the same thing applies to what it is we want out of life. What we focus on is what we breed and manifest in our lives. If what you want to do is develop and get stronger, like I said, I encourage you right now, today, as soon as the session ends, or if something pops into your mind right now, write down what that one word is, or those 2 or 3 words, and start looking at it on a daily basis. Find pictures to accentuate those words. But the story that I wanted to share with you that shows you how powerful mindset is, there was a gentleman during war that was a prisoner, okay? He was a POW. He had got locked up in a prison camp and was there for over 10 years. So he spent over a decade in the prison camp. Now, the way he did his time, the way he made sure that they didn't break his spirit, he thought about playing golf on his favorite golf course every day. Mentally, he played golf in his mind. I want y'all to hear what I'm about to tell you. Mentally, he played golf in his mind every day on his favorite course. And what he told everybody in the prison, he told the other prisoners of war, when we get home, I'm going to my favorite golf course. When we get out of here, as soon as we touch down and they get me cleaned up, I get something to eat, I'm going to play golf on my favorite course. As I said in the beginning, time is our most valuable asset, but our mind is our most powerful asset, our mind. He gets home. Louisa, listen to this. He gets home. He goes to the golf course, his favorite golf course. He pulls out a club. And on the very first hole, he hit a hole in one. On the very first hole, he hit a hole in one. Why? Because for 10 years, he had been focusing on that hole. No, he hadn't played any golf, but he focused, because that's how powerful the mind is.
That is such a powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that just reminds me of a quote, I think, from Dyer. When you change the way we look at things,
the things you look at change. That's one of my favorite quotes. Yes.
I love that. That is really powerful. And thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And guys, if you're enjoying this as much as I am, listen, put it in the comment box below. Hashtag hot nuggets. Okay, that's what we expect from you. Hashtag hot nuggets, because that's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing. That's what Cori's doing. I've gained so much from this session, and I will go back to watch this session again. Cori, I'm not going to let you go until I talk about your recent award as the World Civility Ambassador. Wow. I think that was so great, and that's so important that we highlight on that for people to just see and experience what you've been doing. You've been traveling a lot lately and doing so much work outside of the United States, and I really want to say thank you for all that you're doing with your gifts.
Thank you.
And so can you just share with us the work that you've done, that gained this award, the World Civility Ambassador Award. And I do know that you have a new appointment as well. But let me let you share a bit about it. Over to you, Cori.
Yes, I really appreciate that. All I can say, the first word that comes to mind is humility. Finding a place in which we unapologetically and without hesitation choose to share our gift with the world. That's all it has simply been, Louisa. Most recently, what I will highlight is the time that I've been able to spend in Guyana. If there are any viewers that are watching from Guyana, I'm looking forward to getting back there so that we can get to work. We've started to create some motion on being able to put a couple programs in place, and I'm just extremely excited about it. And so the biggest thing for me is continuing to remain humble in the process, because we all don't know what we don't know. And I understand that I am also being positioned to be in a place to help a lot of other people. It's also a matter of truly being able to pay it forward because somebody helped me. I'm continuously being helped. And so when I truly think about what it means to now be a World Civility Ambassador, it's about paying it forward. It's about being able to extend and give someone the same help that was given to me. Now, when I say extend, I don't mean just look for the person that's raising their hand. Being able to be aware enough to know when you can see that someone truly needs help and someone is willing to receive that help and actually take action. And so for me, again, it goes back to that word humility. Humility and civility go hand in hand. And I'm just extremely honored and extremely happy and excited to be able to continue to move forward and work with different individuals and people around the world and being able to add as much value as I can.
Thank you so much, Corey. And we're having a lot of contributions from the audience. And Wendell, it's so great to have you here. Thank you. Thank you, Morel. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Alaki. Please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it right. I will learn today and get it right tomorrow. By the time you come back to the next session, I should be able to get it right. But welcome, everyone. It's so great to have you here. We've been having a wonderful conversation with Cori, and the last 40 minutes, it has been powerful. Yes, humility and civility go hand in hand. Yes, you cannot be civil without being humble. So that is powerful. And welcome, Sekoni. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to go back and catch it. Yes, you do. You do have to catch a replay, and some of you might have to download this video because this is so powerful. This is power packed. It's a lot of nuggets that Cori has shared with us today. Now, Cori, I have one more question for you.
Sure.
You have been doing a lot of work in the workplace. And we're trying to encourage people about how workplaces should be able to foster civility. Can you just speak more about that and why that is so important for us to set the right environment, even in the workplace? Over to you, Cori.
Yeah, especially if you're in a position of leadership, the only way true success can be found in any organization is it starts with the people. And so just as we've discussed on so many different levels, the meaning of civility and what civility means to recognize the value of another individual. When people work, they spend so much time away from their loved ones. I'm a firm believer nobody works for me. That's one philosophy that I've always held true to, and I will continue to stand firm to. It's because I know that anybody on my team and our team, when they enter into those doors, they're not coming to work for me. They're coming to work for whatever responsibilities they have outside of that workplace. So the more we're able to cultivate a workplace of value, of recognition, of respect, all of those things go a long way because You want people to want to enjoy where they work. You want people to want to come to work. And so all of those things are very important. I think about us even having this conversation on a Monday morning. You know, statistics show so many people have heart attacks on Monday morning between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. because they happen to be going somewhere that they don't want to go. And so as people are on a personal journey to truly find their gift and find their happy place or whatever it is that truly moves them, it's very important that we recognize and value people for just who they are first. Because before they're a worker, before they're any member of our team, work or otherwise, they're a human being. And people should definitely be treated like people with the highest level of value possible.
Thank you so much, Cori. We have a question for you on the screen. I was going to let you go, but we have a question from Morel in London, UK. Thank you, my friend. So the question is, how do you encourage a loved one to grow without sounding pushy? That's a great question. Over to you, Cori.
Morel, that's a powerful question, and I can definitely tell because you showed up first and you've been extremely engaged all morning. Morel, I think it really boils down to the example that we set. Because one thing that I realize is people won't grow at any varying level if they're not ready to. I want to give a lot of kudos and shout out to my wife for how she encourages and how she has pushed me over the years. You know, I can remember a point in time and feeling like maybe I wasn't capable of doing some different things, but she was very consistent. She was very consistent in highlighting for me certain things that she saw in me that I couldn't see in myself. So, Morel, what I want to encourage you is to understand that sometimes people need a believer in their life to believe in them until their belief in self catches up. I'm going to say that again. Morel, sometimes people in life need a believer in them until their belief in self catches up. So I just want to encourage you to be consistent. If you know that you're speaking to them from a loved place and from a very positive place, just be consistent. And as long as your actions are consistent, if and when they're ready, their growth will catch up. But just be very careful, Morel, that you don't get so attached to their outcome that you allow it to steal your joy or take away from your overall growth.
Thank you so much, Cori. That was powerful. And welcome, Nene. I think that she's from Gambia. It's great to have you here. So, guys, we have come to the end of the session. And I just want to mention to you guys that you are the most amazing audience ever. And thank you for always showing up here every Mondays and Fridays. And even sometimes on Saturdays when I have a session, it's filled up. I want to say a big thank you to you because without you, this wouldn't happen. So big thank you to you. Kudos to you. Giving you all the thumbs up. If I might not. Yes. So I'm giving you all the thumbs up and thank you. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in the message. Thank you for encouraging me, for your likes, your love, all your messages, your emails. They mean so much to me. And guys, we've come to the end of the session, but I want you to know that this is the month of March. We're sharing a lot of great contents. If you do have anyone, whether it's you or somebody around you, who is doing a lot of work with the women, please get in touch with me. My email is louisa@thecivilityacademy.com. It's louisa@thecivilityacademy.com. Get in touch with me and let me know that you would love to be featured on the show, or let me know of a great leader somewhere who's doing some work and doesn't have access to me. You are the ambassador to take it out there. So try to visit our website all the time and get some information. Be part of our newsletter we've started, and this month we're going to be sharing some really great content. Thank you so much, Sekani. Thank you for your lovely words. I appreciate it. It means so much to me. And this month, we're not just working on the women, but also we're doing a lot of work in regards to culture, because I find that we have a global audience. here. So I have people from all over the world. So another thing I want you to do for me is send me an email. If you think you want to share your civility story with us, your civility story, send it to me. 200 to 400 words, that's fine. We want to be able to feature you in our newsletter. You mean so much to us. You might not want to come up here and be interviewed, but you do have your civility story and you want to share it with thousands of people. I want you to know that this is a platform that reaches over 13,000 people all over the world. So send me your civility story and I'll be happy to share it. And another thing that I want from you is share one of your favorite quotes from your country.
Wow.
Let me know if you have a poem from your country, if you have an adage, if you have a proverb, share it with us. Share the poem or the adage or the proverb and let us know what it means. We want to be able to showcase all of that because this is the civilized presence, and something that we're very passionate about is cultural competence. Everyone's life is valuable. Everyone is important. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're joining me from. I see Philippines here. I see Malaysia here. I see London. I see Nigeria. I see Ghana. I see the United States. I see Liberia. Everyone is important. Everyone's life is valuable. So I want to learn something about you. It's not just about me. I want to learn about your culture. Other people want to learn about your culture. So send me those proverbs, send me the poems, whatever that you have. Just let us know why you're so fantastic and why you're such a great person in your country. We want to visit your country. Look at that. Cori just talked about Guyana. I would love if someone could share a proverb from Guyana, that would be powerful. So guys, I hate to let you go, but we've come to the end of the session. And I also have to be very civil so that Cori can come back another day when I ask him to.
Most definitely.
And Cori, thank you so much. Thank you for the nuggets. Thank you for your message. Continue to do what you do. Everyone needs to hear this message. I will be setting up for a watch party later on today for those who missed the session to be part of this. And if you have to download it, if you want me to send you an MP3, just send me a message and I'll forward it to you. We're going to have it later on today. I'll send it to my channel on YouTube. But if you want me to send you a raw copy of it, send me a message and I'm happy to do that. So thank you so much, Cori. And my audience, thank you. Thank you, Morel, for all of your support. Thank you. Thank you. From London, thank you. It's so great to always have you here. And if you haven't gotten a copy of my book yet, what are you waiting for? The Civilized Leader. It's all of the great content that we've been sharing and much more. And you can have access to it on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, or you can just go to my website, it's civilizedpresence.com, and you can have access to it. So thank you so much for everything that you do, and I will see you again on Friday, same time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I want to say bye for now, and take care. Bye-bye.